everyone, I'm Kelly and this is my channel Kel Stitches. Today is Thursday the 5th of January 2023 and today I will be doing an end of year WIP parade. I know we're already into January. I was meant to do this last week and I just didn't get around to it, so here we are and I'm getting to it now. So it's going to be my WIP parade and showing the few finishes that I've had in 2022 and my plans for 2023. I'm not going to have any before photos of any of my WIPs because, as most of you know, I only started floss tube in, when was it? September? No, it was before that. Anyway, I only started it in the later half of last year, so I didn't really think about keeping any of my before pics or anything like that for it. So I'm just going to show you where we're up to, and then once I'm finished filming, I'll take pictures of them all and keep them in a separate folder on my tablet, so next time I do a WIP parade, they'll be there. So if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back and catching up with me and seeing what I have to show you. If you are a new viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see and you will continue to come back and watch me. If you hear any noises in the background, it's because the son is in his room this way doing God knows what, so you could hear some noises in the background. I've told him to be quiet, but you know what teenagers are like. So let's get into, should I do my WIPs then my finishes, or do my finishes then my WIPs? I might do my finishes first, and then that way we get them out of the road. I've got so many books and everything in front of me to keep track of everything. All right, so my first finish of 2022 was this one by Long Dog Samplers. I am not even going to say the name because I butcher it every time I attempt to. So that is that one. I started it. This is actually a fully finished because I did manage to frame it as well. So there it is. That is my finish. I started it on the 26th of the 5th, 2022. And I finished it on the 2nd of the 6th, 2022. So it only took me, what, a week? About a week to do. I hand dyed the Aida myself. It is 16 count hand dyed. I wanted that twilighty colour, not quite dark and not too light, that twilighty colour. And I used the Etoile 5200 or a blank, I think it was, for the moon. So that was my first finish for 2022. My next finish was another Long Dog sampler, which is this one, which was Anzac. And this is the finished piece. Now, I started this on the 1st of January 2022. I started this as part of a stitch along with Darren, Dizzy Stitcher, and another friend of ours, Michelle. I was the first one to finish. Darren's, I don't think, even halfway through the first page, and Michelle was a fair way through hers last time I seen it. So, and this was stitched, I started it on the 1st of January 2022 and finished it on the 11th of June 2022. This is stitched on a hand-dyed Aida that I've done myself using a teal and a yellow, and it is 18 count, and it is stitched with 2 variegated flosses. I don't know the numbers of them, or even the names of them. The variegated flosses are stitched that 2/1. The third finish that I had was this one. It was just a pattern off Etsy by 2x2 Stitch Art, and this is it. There, I obviously changed the colour of the words here. They were meant to be white, and I just changed them to 3826, something. It was one of those colours, because the other 2 in this series, this is a series of 3, the other 2 in this series do have that colour in them, so I thought I'd do that. And I also used the étoile again in the mountains and the stars and the moon and all that sort of stuff, just to give it a little bit of a sparkle. So I started this on the 7th of April 2022 and finished it on the 26th of July 2022, and it is just on a basic 16 count Aida. Now, the 4th and final finish that I had for 2022, I don't actually have it physically on me. I will put a picture of the finished piece, but if you watched my last floss tube, you will know what one I'm talking about. And this was it, a little Santa at the Door stocking by Artecy. This was stitched for my great niece, and I started it on the 17th of May 2022 and finished it on the 9th of November 2022. And it was just stitched on a 16 count Aida 2/1, sorry, 2/1. It was stitched. So there are all my finishes for 2022. They're not huge, but there is a few little finishes. That's why I like throwing a few small ones in amongst my massive ones, just so I can get them couple of finishes in every year, so I feel like I'm actually doing something. So my yearly stats for 2022 was, my stitch count was 190,230 stitches. Now that was full crosses, because I only work in full crosses. That's just the way I am. I don't do tent or anything. Even on my big full coverages, I do full crosses. I stitched a total of 318 days, and my daily average worked out to be 521 stitches a day. So I'm hoping in 2023 I might be able to crack the 200,000 stitch count mark, maybe. We'll see what happens. All right, so let's get into my WIPs. My first one is, sorry, I gotta find it. This one, I will take this out of the Q-snap, out of the hoop, so you can see it properly. See the full thing. Obviously, because I'm taking it out of the hoop, it is going to be creased and wrinkled, so I'm very sorry if you don't like that at all. But my first WIP is Bengal Tigers 2 by Just Stitching. Now this pattern came from eBay. It was bought for me by my mother-in-law 5 years ago as a Christmas gift. There was like half a dozen patterns that she bought me. So that is what it looks like when it's finished. And this is what it currently looks like. So that is what it is currently looking like. I don't have much to do. I just got to finish off that page that I'm working in down here and do this top page. I'm hoping to get this finished in the first half of 2023. And this is being stitched on 16 count white Aida. And I started it on the 7th of October 2021. And as of the 31st of December, my percentage was, I'm at 80.09% on it. And I've done 41,372 stitches out of 51,660. So as I said, there's not much left on this to do, but it's just a matter of having the time to do it, but I will get there. I'll put these back in my... Now, all my project bags I've made myself unless I state otherwise. This one is just a jungly one. I thought it was very apt for tigers. Alright, my next WIP number 2 is this one. I was hoping it wasn't going to be a WIP when I got around to filming this, but I don't have much left on it, and I'm sorry, but I'm not taking the hoop off this one. Okay, so this is Changing Seasons. It is the Mystery Stitch Along for 2022 by Fox and Rabbit Designs. So I've been stitching this for the whole year. If you've been watching my videos from when I first started back in June, July, whenever it was, or yeah, it might have been June, you will see me go month by month with this from where it was. So yes, this is it. I've just got this little bit of the border left to do. That border has been an absolute killer. As I said, it had 22,000 stitches in it. So this is done on a 16 count hand dyed Aida that I dyed myself. I started with a light grey and then I just over dyed with a dark smoky grey to get the mottled effect. And of course I started this on the 1st of January 2022, and I'm hoping that I can say that I finished it in the next couple of days. So that was WIP number 2. WIP number 3 is this one. Now, haven't worked on this for quite a while because of the floss that came with it. So it is a stamped kit. It's my Dreamcatcher stamp kit. Now, the floss that I got with this one was the satin floss. Now, the satin floss is gorgeous. They do give a nice finish, a nice shine and finish to it. But they're a pain in the ass to work with. Let me tell you, they slip and they slide and everything else. Anyway, I was talking to Alara a few weeks ago and I asked her, because she's got a stamped one as well, and I asked her what she uses. And she just said some type of beeswax or thread magic or something like that. So I ordered myself a couple of thread magic waxes, and I'm going to hopefully get back into this sometime this year. It is in my rotation, so even if I only do a day at a time on it, I will eventually get to it. But it is coming along nicely, and I do want to finish it. I have got a couple of other stamped kits that I would like to get to as well. I've got another one, I think it is, with the satin thread, and then all the others I got cotton thread, so they shouldn't be that hard. This is on 11 count Aida, and I started it on the 29th of January 2022, and that's as far as I got. I haven't got percentages or anything for it because it's not on Pattern Keeper, so yeah, I'm not worrying about doing percentages or any for the ones that aren't on Pattern Keeper. This is just in a fuzzy bee project bag that I made, vinyl fronted. So that was WIP number 3. WIP number 4 is the Year in the Woods series, which I'm sure everyone has seen. These guys by now. I finished the fox. I finished the fox, and I'm currently stitching the swans. But I have got all 12 of them, and all the flosses, all the overdyes, all that sort of stuff. These, alright, I'm going to take it off the Q snap so we can see the whole thing. And I am doing this, so this is where I'm up to. As you can see, I am doing it all on one piece of fabric, all 12 of them on the one piece of fabric. So I've got Mr. Fox done, and I'm up to the swans. So obviously it's the Year in the Woods sale series by Cottage Garden Samplings. Now I'm stitching this on an 18 count hand dyed Aida that once again I dyed myself. It's just a cocoa brown with a touch of tangerine orange in it. So yeah, that's where I'm up to. And I started these on the 14th of June 2022. They stitch up really quickly. They do stitch up really quickly. It's just that they've got a lot of stitches in them. A lot of stitches in them for such a little pattern. So, and that's being stitched with all the called for colours, DMC. Well, I use CXC, but all the called for DMC colours and overdyes, and I am stitching that 2/1 on the 18 count. So WIP number 5 is this one. Long Dog Samplers, Soucis. I sort of maybe fell out of love with this just a touch because I am bogged down in a heap of back stitching at the moment. Now I'm not taking this out of the hoop because you can see everything that I have done on it. So this is it. This is my Soucis by Long Dog Samplers. It's being stitched on just average 18 count white Aida, and I am stitching it 2/1 with Silks for You floss. The purple is PR001 and the teal is PR147. So yeah, that's where I'm up to with it. I started it, did I say when I started? I started it on the 18th of June 2022. And I'm currently at 25.93% of it. So a quarter of the way through. Like, the piece of fabric's not that big, even being on 18 count. So a quarter of the way through, and I have done 6,289 stitches out of 24,252. Should be able to easily get this done this year. But that back stitching I have got, there is so much back stitching in this, it's not funny. Even just in that, yeah, there's so much back stitching, but it will make it pop, and I will do the back stitching as I go. I prefer not to leave it to the end, and I don't hate back stitching. I don't hate back stitching at all. This is just done in a peacock vinyl fronted bag that I made. And yeah, I don't hate back stitching. It just, when there's so much of it, it gets a little bit annoying. All right, WIP number 6 is Moonrise Song by Artecy, and the artwork is by Abraham Hunter. And this is the large version of it. And once again, I'm not taking this out of the Q snap because this is all I've got done of it, and that's all you'll be able to see. So that's where I'm up to. That's on the, and I do start in the middle. I am a middle starter, and I prefer that. Just because, no reason, just, actually there is a reason. I find starting in the middle actually gets you to the focal points quicker, rather than, because most things it's all like, if you start in one of the corners, it's just all the background, and then you got to work your way to the focal point. So I start in the middle, start at the focal point, and then do the background last. So this is being stitched on 16 count white Aida. The fabric is massive. As you can see. So it is going to be another big one. I started this on the 23rd of June 2022. I am currently at 2.46%. I have done 5,569 stitches out of 226,050. And this is being stitched 2/1 full cross. So just got to wrangle this fabric to get it back into the project bag. And that's all the flosses for it. And this is in another project bag that I made myself. I went from vinyl fronted project bags to lined zippered project bags. I just find these ones sorry guys, these ones fit the big projects in them a lot easier. So that was WIP number 6. WIP number 7 is this one. It is a Daydream Sea Turtles, charted by Charting Creations, and the artwork is by Sheena Pike. Absolutely love Sheena's artwork. I am hoping that a lot more of hers will be charted into cross-stitch patterns eventually. So again, I won't be taking it out of the Q snap. Let me just get this one out of this thread out of the road. Hoping that's in the right place. So this is where I'm up to. Stitched on 16 count white Aida, and it is being stitched to 2 over 1 using all the called for colours. Once again, I am using CXC, not DMC. The only DMC that I use are the 0 to 30, 35 range, whatever it is. They're the only DMCs I use because CXC currently don't do them. I started this on the 14th of August 2022. I am at 2.05%. And I have done 3,401 stitches out of 165,900 stitches. So these are definitely long-term projects, these big ones, for sure. And this is in an ocean project bag. WIP number 8. I call it Tribal Wolf because I don't know if it actually had a name to it, but it is off an Etsy store. 2x2 Stitch Art is the store name. Absolutely love this design, love it. Now this is that right? This is where I'm up to with it. It is being stitched on a 14 count hand dyed Aida that I got from Paddock Lane Designs in one of her dye spot sales. As you can see, it's got a few spots on it, but I don't mind the dye spots. It can give it a little bit of a feature in the fabric. But yeah, so that's where I'm up to, and I started this on the 18th of August 2022. I am stitching this 2 over 1 in Etoile. What's the number? Etoile 823 is what I'm stitching it in. So just to give that little bit of a sparkle on the dark blue on the light blue fabric. And the size of this, I will probably turn it into a cushion once it's done. This is at 14.17%. And I have done 2,660 stitches out of 18,768. So it's not real big. And this stitches up really quickly because I am only using the one colour. This should be a finish for this year. Should be, I say. We'll see what happens. All right, WIP number 9 is this one. Adventure Awaits. Now it is also from 2x2 Stitch Art off Etsy, and it is one of the trio of the that goes with that. So once I get them all done, I've got an idea of how I want to finish these. Whether it actually works out or not is another thing, but I'll give it a go. See if it will work. Now these fit into these hoops nicely, so I don't have to take them out. And that is where I am up to. Once again, I am using the Etoile in there just to give it a little bit of a sparkle. And this is once again being stitched on 16 count white Aida. I find these designs are perfect to use up all your scrap bits of Aida that you may have from cutting out your bigger projects. You know how you get your little scraps of 12-inch by 12 inches and that. These are perfect for it, and they've got a lot of designs that are absolutely gorgeous. And I mean, you could even just finish it in the hoop the way it is, but I have another idea for them. This one I started on the 20th of August 2022. I am currently at 22.56% on it. I have done 2,980 stitches out of 13,208 stitches. I am going to say that this should be another finish for 2023. Should be. Hopefully it will be. And that is using all the cord 4 colours in CXC. WIP number 10 is this one, Mini Shaman, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, and the artwork is by Laurie Prindle. I know it says on there Laura Prindle, but it's actually Laurie Prindle. If you have a look at a lot of Heaven and Earth Designs, they call her Laurie, they call her Laura, it's Laurie Prindle. So that is WIP number 10. And once again, I haven't got very far on it, so I really don't need to take it out of the Q-snap. And I've got no idea whether this is the right way up or not. I'm thinking maybe not. I think that's the right way up, because I think this is the horse's mane. Yes, I think. Maybe not. I really don't know. Anyway, this is where I'm up to. This is being stitched on 16 count white Aida. It is only a mini, so I don't know how the details will come out in it, but I only sort of buy minis from Heaven and Earth Designs because I don't know, I don't want it. I know I've got some big projects coming up, but I don't know if I want to put that much time into a Heaven and Earth Designs chart. So most of my Heaven and Earth Designs are minis. I started this on the 27th of August of 2022. Currently it is at 2.42%, and I've done 1,700 stitches out of 70,200. If I get my butt into gear, being the size of it, this could possibly be a finish for 2023, but I have got some other projects that I was meant to start at the end of last year. I'll get into that when we get into my plans. So yeah, this is where I'm up to. And it is being stitched 2 over 1, of course, with all the called for colours, and it is in a little feathery project bag that I, once again, made myself. WIP number 11 is this one. It's called Protector, and it is by Paine Crafts, and the artwork is by Katie Lipscomb. Now this is a chart that Darren, Dizzy Stitcher, gifted me, so I thought I would get straight on to stitching it instead of letting it wallow in where all my kits and everything like that are. Now I am doing this on, once again, I've got no idea which way's up, which way's down. I think that's the right way. That's all I've got done of it. I am doing this on a 16 count hand dyed Aida that I dyed myself in this green. I have done 2 more pieces of fabric because there is another 2 charts in this style by Katie Lipscomb that I want to get and do on this matching fabric. So I dyed all the fabric at once, so I got them all at the same colour. This here is just a little scorch mark or a little like dye spot mark. But that is where I'm up to. I started this on the 30th of September 2022. And I'm currently sitting at 38.54%. And that is because I am omitting all of this white background. So I'm only doing the wolves and the earth, I think it's meant to be. But I'm only doing the wolves, so that's why I am at so much percentage already, and that's all I've got done. And because I'm sitting at that percent, it's saying that I've done 37,434 stitches out of the 91,125 stitches. So I've got about 60,000 stitches to do on this. Once again, if I get my butt into gear and don't get distracted by any new starts or any other being enabled to buy more patterns by anyone else. Yes, Darren, I am looking at you. I should maybe get this nearly done this year. But then if you hear my plans, it could be a hard slog to get this done. But that is what I'm thinking. And this is just in another project bag that I made, vinyl fronted one. Okay, so that is all my active WIPs that I have actually started and I am stitching on or have put stitches in. As I said, I was going to start a few more at the end of last year. So this is where I'm getting into my plans now, guys. I was meant to start some at the end of last year, but I got stuck with finishing off the stocking for my great niece, which took a little bit longer than what I thought it did. Sometimes you go, oh yeah, that's not going to take too long, and then you go, holy shit, it's got more stitches in it than what I thought it did. And then at the start of December, I got stuck on this one because I didn't want to bring it in to my rotation for this year. And that is why for the last 5 days, well, since the start of December, but that is why I've been concentrating on that. And hopefully I've only got 3 or 4 days left of that to do. Depends on how much stitching I can get done. So then that'll be out of the way. Now, I do have some new starts planned. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new starts planned, which will be getting started when they come up in my rotation after I finish that. So the first one is this, which is Happy Mood Point. This is meant to be started as a sale with Nicole, North Island Stitcher, back in November. I'm a little bit behind, but I don't think she's really going to worry too much. So this is a Quaker Sampler by Happy Mood Point. And I am doing this. Sorry, I didn't unzip this one. I've dyed some 16 count Aida. That is just a very pale blue. And I'm going to be doing, don't know why they're in there. Going to be stitching it in. Sorry. Russell in Petite Treasure Braids. And then I am going to finish off with some, and I've got the matching sort of colours in some seed beads. So I will be finishing, like, and I'll just be doing a few highlights with the seed beads on it. And I'm going to be maybe doing that, try to do it as a bit of a Christmas ornaments type of a thing. So that is one of the first starts that I have got planned. Don't know why the Silks for You are in there. And it is in a smaller project bag that I made. This was an accident one. I try to make all my project bags this size to fit my big projects in. This is a little itty bitty one. So that is the first one. My next planned start is going to be this one, which is a Waterhole Masters, Enchanted by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by David Penfound. This is just the normal version of it. It's not the super size, it's not the max colour. This is just the normal version because check out the size of the fabric. And yeah, this is 18 count. That's the size of the fabric. So yeah, kind of a little bit. Right, so that's the next start that I've planned. The third one is this one, which is the Shaped Wolf, also a Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a Greg Giordano artwork. Absolutely love this because it is just the wolf shape. I have decided I've been having trouble with that thing all morning trying to get it to stay up. This is my daughter's room. I'm in here because the son's taken over the dining table doing a diamond painting that he was given for Christmas, and the partner's asleep on our bed. So I've taken over the daughter's room, and that thing there has been giving me nothing but trouble all morning trying to keep it up. That is actually a quilted piece that she made back in high school. Oh, it's not going to come off. But yeah, it's a quilted piece that she made in high school. Where she painted that yellow fabric for the pineapples and everything, and yeah, so it's really cute, but it's a pain in the ass to keep on the wall. Anyway, back to what I was saying, because this is just the shape, like just the wolf outline, I'm doing it on a dyed fabric, which is sort of like it's like a orangey mocha. I did want a terracotta colour, and it was hilarious because when I was looking for it, Alara and Kristen and Kimberly and everyone, all of us, we were all looking for these colours, and we were just shooting all these colours out, and everyone sort of went, oh yeah, well that colour's the best. So that's what I attempted to dye it at, and that's what it came out as. This is also going to be, that's also 18 count. I've decided that I'm going to start, I've got a lot of 16 count left, but I'm going to start doing all my bigger projects on 18 count. And that is ready to go. I've got all the floss and everything. These are all ready to go to start. So I've got the floss, the Q-snap, everything for these. My fourth new start, is going to be this one, Mini Top Frog. Now, most of you have probably seen that Judy, who is an Aussie in a Kiwi world here on FlossTube, and Darren, Dizzy Stitcher, are doing this. As a Sal, my mum absolutely loves froggies, so I thought that I would stitch it for her as well. And I've got it in a little froggy bag that I made. It's so cute. The daughter hates frogs. My mum hates them. My mum loves them. The daughter hates them. So, but yeah, it's got everything in there. Floss are already on floss drops. I've just got to serge the material, and I have started to put handles on my project bags, so you can just carry them with you if you need to. The fifth and hopefully final new start for 2023 is in this jungle montage bag, and it is this one. It is Spirit Guides, charted by Paine Crafts, and it is a Laurie Prindle artwork. I love it. Absolutely love it. It is gorgeous, and I am going to be doing it on Aida and Count Aida. Again, I've just got to serge it, but I've got all the floss and everything to start that one. So those 5 are going to be new starts sometime in the next probably month or 2 months. And hopefully that is all the new starts that I'm going to do until I finish some of my other projects, even if just some of the smaller ones. As soon as I finish one, I'm going to put another one in its place. So there is a group on Facebook called, what is it called? Set Yourself a Goal for 2023 Challenge. I think that's what it's called. It was started up by a lady in another one of my groups. She was inspired by the challenge between Darren and Alara, how they challenged each other to, Darren's got to finish Mini Top Frog and Alara's got to do all the black outline of her Dragons of the Sabbat. It was inspired by that. So she more or less just said, let's just set ourselves our own stitching goal challenge for a full coverage piece. Mine is, I did say that I wanted to get 10,000 stitches on these 8 projects, but I've reconsidered and I have decided that I am going to try and get 15,000 stitches into each of them, which totals to, I think it's 120,000 stitches. Considering I've done 190,000, just over 190,000 stitches this year, I think it's doable. But that is just on them projects. That's 15,000 stitches each on those projects. It's not on any other project. As you see, I've got, what, 14 active WIPs and another 5 in the pipeline. So we'll see how I go with it. And that is pretty much my only goal this year, is to get those 15,000 stitches into those 8 projects. We'll see how far we get. So guys, that is everything I have got to show you today. Thank you for sticking around and seeing my projects and seeing what I've got planned for 2023. We'll see how far my plans get or if my plans change, but that is my plan so far for 2023. I know I haven't got as many projects as some people. Jen the Caffeinated Crafter. But I can't do heaps, and especially when I've got, out of my 14 WIPs, 10 of them are going to be massive full coverages, so they're long-term projects, and it's, yeah, I can't have too many going at once. I know at the start of the year I was like, yeah, I'm only going to have 10 projects, and then it's just keep creeping up. I think 20 will be my maximum, absolute maximum. If I start going over 20, well, someone please hold an intervention for me. Because I can't, yeah, 20 is going to have to be my absolute maximum. But anyway, guys, that is all I have got to show you, all I've got to talk about. We are nearly at it's just under an hour, so I think I've rambled on long enough. I will get this uploaded, edited and uploaded, and hopefully you'll be seeing it shortly. But yeah, so that is everything. Once again, I would like to say thank you. If you're, the lighting is going really strange. Let me put this lined up a bit. Okay. Yeah, so thank you for coming back and watching me whenever I tend to upload. I'm hoping to get back to fortnightly uploads for my updates, and hopefully every other week I will be able to do a stitch with me. I am still currently on holidays from work. I go back next, what's day? Today's Thursday, so I've still got a week. I go back on Friday the 13th. I go back to work. So, yeah. But yes, thank you for coming and watching and sticking with me and everything like that. I'm hoping to have lots more, or enough to show you every fortnight. But yeah, all right, guys, wherever you are in the world, take care and stay safe. And until next time, until I see you next time, bye.